These two images illustrate two very different ways of experiencing being in a train. The first one makes it seem as scary, while the second one makes it seem as safe and pleasant. Now, let's imagine that your experience of everyday places, like a train, starts to change, and it starts to become more like the first image. Places that were safe and that you enjoyed are now becoming scary, pleasant, terrifying, to the point that you start to avoid them altogether. And this is what happens to people who suffer from panic disorder. In panic disorder, a person will experience many and recurrent panic attacks. The interesting thing is that the experience of a panic attack will transform the image that we have of a particular place from somewhere that was safe to somewhere that is now terrifying. And panic disorder can become so severe to the point that the person might not feel able to leave their own house, because the whole of the outside now feels terrifying too, much like the first image. In my PhD research, I'm interested in the mechanisms by which a person can regain a sense of safety and also transform places from phobic to safe. And by doing this, I hope that we can start to provide better support for people suffering from panic disorder. Now, in order to answer this question, I took a bottoms-up approach to mental health recovery research by carefully listening to the experiences of people with panic disorder through 4 case studies. I found out that unlike treatment for phobias, transforming a phobic place is not just a matter of getting used to it, like you would do with exposure therapy. It is also not a matter of telling your anxious thoughts that they are irrational. Regaining a sense of safety and transforming a place is a little bit more nuanced. It involves looking at place as something more than just a background to our everyday life. It involves understanding deeply the relationships that we establish with the places that we live in. But what does this mean? This means using elements of place as anchors for us to regain a sense of safety while also managing any feelings of anxiety that might come up. Through a series of walk-in interviews, I learned that Teresa, for example, managed to transform her experience of buses and trains by focusing on elements of those places that she found beautiful. She also carried earplugs with her as a way to deal with the noise when it became too much. And she also focused on finding little elements of that experience that she could actually enjoy despite the place being scary. By engaging actively with phobic places, my participants managed to regain a sense of safety in themselves, but also in places. So much that they were able to visit these phobic places without panicking. And this is key because having one good experience in those places meant that the image of the place as phobic would start to crumble, leading the way to new and safer relationships to place. The importance of my research is that it brings geographical theory and mental health together. It puts place in place within mental health research. And I hope that by doing this, we can start supporting panic disorder sufferers in their process of regaining a new and safe sense of place.